Is there?
None that I can see.
Out the way. I'm going in.
Are you sure it's safe?
Don't be such a sissy.
I think that's a good question.
It's okay, Dean. I got you.
Dad would put a split if he knew I was here.
Well, we won't tell him then, will we?
Do you think there's festivals of beauty here?
No, people have been here before. Look, someone made a fire here once.
And someone pulled in these logs for us to sit on.
Well, there's some kids just like us.
Not some kids like you. You look more like olive oil than Popeye.
Hey, knock it off. Brian knows a lot of stories about these rings. Don't you, Brian? A few, I guess.
Go ahead, Brian. Tell us.
Well, different Indian tribes lived here for more than 10,000 years. So yeah, I bet they knew about the caves around here really well. The first ones were the neutrals, but they were wiped out in the war with the Mohawk and the Seneca. See, the Iroquois and the Seneca had been trading with the American and the French further to the east, and they were armed with steel weapons. The neutrals were still fighting with flint. They didn't have a chance.
Your dad found some Indian artifacts, didn't he?
Yeah, he's found a lot since he built the farm up here.
Like what?
An Indian battle axe, a mortar for guarding grain, and a cannonball from the War of 1812.
Wow, I would like to see them sometime.
Sure, next time you're over.
You know where that red brick house is just next to the escarpment? Just next to there was an Indian log casting encampment. My aunt said there was a burial ground in Grimsby, and archaeologists found all kinds of things. Clay pipes, earrings, birds, toothpicks, and conch shells.
Conch shells. That can't be right. There ain't no conch around here. The only place I ever saw them was in Florida.
You've been to Florida? I haven't even been to Toronto.
Florida's great. Sun, sandy beaches, bikinis. Bet you look great in the bikini.
They did find conch shells. My aunt Gladys said it showed the Indians were trading all the down the coast. All stuff they found went to the ROM in Toronto. Charlie, you have some arrowheads, don't you? Can you bring my
Yeah, my grandfather was doing an apple orchard for Bob Lamont. Could have been a big old tree that got big. Blow it up.
That must have been a blast.
You're funny. I like that. Hey, we should do some exploring. I'd love to see how far back this cave goes.
Sure, I guess.
Be careful, there could be a drop-off. It might not be safe.
Don't worry, scaredy cat. You just sit around here by the campfire and tell your stories like Grandpa and his rocker. We'll be fine.
Honestly, I didn't know what Emmie sees in him. Well, he is a dreamboat, but he's a bit of a bully too. And awfully full of himself.
So, your dad blew up the apple tree and after the ground was covered with arrowheads, bits of pottery, all kinds of Indian things. Some went to Jacobean school, where they were put on display. Dad also has a pretty scary story about this place.
You can tell.
Well, one day, him and his pal George Ball and George's dog Thunder were climbing up around on a path at the top of the escarpment. At some point they noticed Thunder had disappeared, so they started calling for him. They could hear him bark back, but it took them a while to find him. He had fallen in a little cave, entrance, hardly more than a crack, between some rocks.
Hope he wasn't hurt. Lots of people taking a couple off the escarpment.
Thunder was fine, but he couldn't get out, so George had to call him and get him out. That's when they got a shock. Don't leave us hanging!
What did they find?
A skeleton.
No.
Yes, they said it was a whole thing. Even though the bones had been moved a bit by animals, they said it was definitely human. They could tell by the skull.
Oh my. What did they do?
Ran like heck for home. Grandpa Allen saw the kind, like demons were chasing them. And when they finally calmed down enough for him to get the story out, Grandpa scolded them for entering the cave and stirring up little ghosts. Seems knows a lot about that cave. Had seen bones himself. Said if anybody who tampered with dead bodies would be haunted. It's best to let old bones rest in peace. That's quite a story. Do you really think it's true? My dad said he couldn't help talk about it with their friends. The story eventually made it into the paper. Wow, that's really spooky. Think there's any skeletons in here?
Unlikely. It would have put Emmie scream by now.
I wonder whose body it was.
Maybe an Indian. Maybe he spoke to the war but himself. There's so many stories about this place. It's awful dark back here. And the walls are slim.
It's good.
It's cold too. I've got goosebumps.
Come a little closer and I'll keep you warm.
Maybe we should go back.
You know what, Emmie? I think you're swell. Not stuck up like some of the other girls.
Jane and Pam aren't stuck up.
How about we go out sometime? My cousin's got a car. We could go up to Crystal Beach next Saturday? What do you say?
My mom says we're not allowed to date until grade 12.
Don't say it's a date. Just an afternoon with friends. This wall back here is pretty stable, except for the little crack here. I don't think I could fit, but maybe you could.
Me?
If I gave you a boost.
No way.
Don't worry. I'll be right here.
No, I'm not going in there.
What? Are you scaredy cat like Brian?
First I'm swelled, now I'm scared. Ah! Whoa! What was that?
Ah!
I guess this place does have cats. I'm going back to the others. You okay, Anne? I know. We're just happy to the time until he's dead and a skeleton in the cave. Did they ever find out who this was?
No, my dad is trying. Just what my granddad said. Never went back there.
There's a lot of stories about bodies around here.
Oh yeah? Like what?
Well, there's a Lost Cave Legends. The earliest one goes back to War of 1812 in the Padlow Bundy's Lane. As the story goes, two American soldiers got fed up with the war. See, they thought they were going to be fighting a regular army. They didn't know about See, they were really fierce fighters. And the Americans,
Meanwhile, back at the ranch, come on, get on with it. The story is supposed to be about skeletons, dead bodies.
He's getting there.
anyways, two American soldiers decided they had enough, so they stole the army payroll and tried to find a way back across the border.
What happened?
Well, the army found them up here. By that time, the thieves were too stopped to walk on their own, and they couldn't carry them and the payroll. So, they rode a couple rocks into the entrance and went to get reinforcements, but when they came back, they couldn't find the same place.
So, they're still here. Somewhere.
That's the story.
And with all that money, too.
I heard this spot was supposed to be near Adam's Step.
Where's that?
It's not far. It's a series of rocks you can climb to the top of your Scotland.
There is a second lost cave story. Em, tell me about your relative. My granddad's great uncle, Emerson Grobb, was quite a drinker. He had a farm up at Camden on Tixon Road, but he used to go down to Beamsville to get a drink. And your great aunt wouldn't let him take you away, so you cut that truck and drive it off to the escarpment. That's right. So, one night, he started to drink home in the dark. And he's walking up to Cave Springs. He stumbles and ends up in a cave. He decides he might as well sleep it off right there. In the morning, he wakes up and he's surprised to find he's surrounded by Indian artifacts. He picks up one nice clay pot, tucks it into a shirt, and carries it home.
You know what? I hope he went back and got the rest. I bet he could have sold it for some good money.
As soon as he got back, he did hitch up his team, but they couldn't find the same hand again.
That sounds like a lot of hooey. Sounds like a story he managed to get his old aunt off his back.
Except that's not the end of the story, is it, Em? No. Because a few years later, he gave the pot to a Mr. Myra, who ended up taking it to the Royal Ontario Museum. It's at the ROM now. They said it was made by neutral Indians somewhere between 1350 and 1550.
It's kind of weird that there's so many stories of mysterious things up there. I mean, caves that appear and disappear. Lost lakes.
That's my family story. There are all these rumors that there was an underground cave in the escarpment above the west of Blue Springs Farm. I see the entrance is from a pile of rocks in the field above the old township quarry on Quarry Road.
A whole lake. Underground. Come on, you're yanking my chain!
No, really. Klaus talked with Richard Stanley said. They climbed into it, and it was more than 2.5 feet deep. Later, Uncle Melford Etherington was lowered into it with a rope tied to his foot. He took a full note if they had to.
Great! Let's go see it!
We can't. They built a barn on the top of it.
I'm starting to think these are a bunch of made-up tall tales. Skeletons, lost lakes, Indian pots, it all sounds pretty bogus to me.
There's people right here in this cave. Both families are part of the story. Are you saying their lives?
You're really starting to rattle my cage.
There's a lot of mysterious things here. You should see Adam's. Their faces covered in. rocks. There's strings to this too.
And that's where the missing payroll might be. Hey, I'm gonna cut out, but you guys can sit around the campfire and tell your stories. I'm going treasure hunting. Emmie, you coming with me? Fine. Brian, you come. You said you knew where it is, right?
I do, but...
You scared again?
No, I'm not scared!
Great. Come on then.
Brian, you don't have to do this.
No, it's fine. It might be a good idea to go to the phone.
No, there's a case story that connects to the one about my great-grandmother's Indian hawk. Let's hear it. A few years after the mystery lawyer brought the clock to the wrong, an American professor started looking out. He came to collect some more books. He said he was going to come back, but he never returned. It turned out he was killed in a car accident in 1925. The stuff he collected is in the Smithsonian now.
What's that?
A big museum in Washington. I guess we cannot afford Lost Cave story. So Mr. Lamont did. Who's Mr. Lamont?
He's an eccentric old guy who owns the land where the ice cave was. Started wine here years ago, but got in trouble with the government because he had more than 1,000 gallons of wine without a liquor control stick. Dad says Lamont was a stubborn old mule who made up his own rules. Because once he decided something, no one could tell him any different.
Everybody loved that ice cave. Farmers used to store their fruit in there because it stayed cold even through summer. Some people even said you could access the Lost Lake through a crack in the rocks in the ice.
And lots of people used to visit it. So one day, Lamont gets in head, he should enlarge entrance. More of a tourist attraction. So he sets some dynamite
And ends up blowing the cave to smithereens. That must have upset people.
It did, but what's done is done.
My family has a story of there too. Only it isn't sort of material skeleton in the Lost Lakes. It's a love story. Really? Let's hear. Well, way back in the War of 1812, my many times your grandfather, I'm owning his house, owned a lot of land up here. Nearby, there was a prisoner of war camp, and one day they sent this young prisoner to fetch water from the as well. That's when he met his daughter, Catherine. The young soldier's name was Lewis House. He was a distant relative of my family. Anyway, I guess he and Catherine hit it off. And when he swore after the war, he would come back to America. Did he? He sure did. They got married in DC, and they had 9 kids.
That's a whole baseball team.
I told him not to do it. I tried to stop him.
What happened? What did Gary do?
This whiny baby is making a big fuss about nothing.
A fuss? About nothing? You destroyed them.
Destroyed what?
The Indian rock carvings, the faces. He tried to hammer them off the rocks, and he just destroyed them.
What?
Why would you do that?
What's wrong with you?
I just wanted to collect them. It's not my fault they broke. Don't have a cow.
Those carvings meant something to people around here.
What you did, Gary, was stupid and selfish. I don't like the way you talk to Brian. He's our friend. I think you're bullying, and I don't want to hang out with you anymore.
None of us did.
Fine. Who'd want to hang out with you guys anyways? You're just a boring bunch of ankle biters.
You okay?
I'm fine. I'm just angry.
I think we all are. Emmie, it's weird for you to say that to Gary. I was just saying that we were all thinking. Can we get out of here? It's getting pretty late. Yeah, let's go.
There's so many stories about Cave Springs. I guess we just added one.
What's the story of Bellinato?
Maybe there is one. A group of friends come together and call it a bully.
Yes. Let's remember it that way.
I